Hello and welcome everybody to Civil 360. My name is Veer Pratap Singh and I welcome you all, my dear friends. So guys, this is another yet discussion, another yet very important discussions wherein we are going to try to understand as to how we need to solve the MCQs that is being asked by the UPSC. Why? Because my dear friends, just understand this one thing. It is not like you can just wake up in the morning and you can just, have a set of questions and you can start solving. No, it doesn't happen in that manner. MCQ solving, it is basically a science, and the art of solving MCQs, when you learn the science of it, then clearing the examinations, it become really very much easy for you guys. Why? Because the UPSC, it functions on a set of patterns that it has utilized whenever it does create the MCQs. Now you aren't going to see, that means if you just look at the PYQs, the previous year questions, on the basis of which and on the basis of the mindset of which these MCQs have also been created. If you look at the PYQs, okay, you shall be understanding that the UPSC ain't gonna ask things from you from a random page, or it ain't gonna ask things from you from a random topic. No, it doesn't, never, it never does that. The UPSC always asks questions that are relevant for the UPSC, that are relevant for the aspirant converted into an administrator. Why? Because things that aren't going to be relevant in your administration, the UPSC, it doesn't want you to focus. It is not like the UPSC wants you to know everything just below the earth. No, just below the sky. No, it doesn't want to do that. So the reason for that, what we can understand here is that the UPSC, if you try to understand the UPSC, that what it demands from you, so automatically what happens is that it shall become very much easier for you that okay, the UPSC demands this and we shall be doing that. If you want to eat Italian and I give you Mexican, obviously you aren't going to like it. Okay, if you want continental and I shall serve you continental, then only you are going to like it, and then only you are going to pay for me, right? Pay for the food that you have eaten. So similarly, the UPSC also functions in that particular manner itself. So that is going to be the scenario here. So here when we ask on this particular aspect, okay, so let's just discuss the first question itself. So when we are talking on the first question, my dear friends, what do we understand here in the first question itself? That consider the following statements. Okay, so whenever such questions are given, the first statement is given. Okay, then there is statement 2 and statement 3. So what is the UPSC pattern? It's that the UPSC tells that 2 and 3 are they, how are they associated with the statement 1. Okay, so the UPSC wants you to interrelate things there with the particular statement 1. So here what is the question being telling? The question, it is being told that Bhimbetka is a key site for understanding the prehistoric human life in India. So Bhimbetka, you are very much well aware that what is a Bhimbetka? What are the Bhimbetka caves? Wow, is it a zoo rock shelter? How many caves are there? And all of those things we get to know of that. Okay. So here Bhimbetka, it contains over 800 rock shelters and 500 bearing paintings. And statement 3 is Bhimbetka paintings depict the themes such as hunting, dancing, and rituals across multiple historic periods, multiple historical period. So that is what is being told by the particular question. So which one of the following is correct? Always and always read this particular statement as well, because if you don't, it is going to be means in the fast, in the rapidness, you shall be just not accurate. So that is going to be there. So when we talk on these, which of the following things are correct? Both statement 2 and statement 3 are correct, and both of them explain statement 1. So the examination always tries to interrelate both the statement 2 and statement 3 and tries to interrelate them individually with statement 1. So you need to also read the statements very much carefully. The second statement is both statement 2 and statement 3, okay, they are correct, but only one of them explains statement 1. Okay, only one of the statements 2 and 3 is correct, and that explains statement 1. Okay, neither statement 2 or nor 3 is correct. So this is how. Now what do we know about Bhimbetka, my dear friends? So about the Bhimbetka, we know is that yes, it is a key site for understanding for prehistoric human life in India. Now in the statement itself, they are telling that prehistoric life in India. So according to the options, what do we know? That statement 1 is correct in itself. Okay, so from the options, we have gathered this information that statement 1 itself is correct. Now, after that, when we talk on the statement 2, what do we understand? Bhimbetka, it contains over 800 rock shelters with around 500 bearing paintings. So what have we learned? Whenever you do the art and culture, when you do the Bhimbetka caves, which is also called the zoo rock shelter, you are very much well aware that there were 500 paintings, more than 500 paintings are found there, and the oldest is 1 lakh years old, and majority of the paintings belong to the Mesolithic age. That is what we have discussed. So from this, the examination has given this one information, right? So from there, we need to understand that what does the examination want. See, the examination, it will not ask you the accuracy, because no one, means the examination doesn't want you to know the things accurately, but the examination just thinks that you should have an idea of it. So here, is the statement being informative enough? Yes, it is being informative enough, so this statement is correct. Then statement 3, Bhimbetka paintings depict such as hunting, dancing, and rituals across multiple historic periods. Now, here also many people will be telling that multiple historical periods. Yes. Why? Because the prehistoric time period means Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic. And the particular Bhimbetka paintings, they depict the themes of both the Paleolithic as well as the Mesolithic. So, what was the life of Paleolithic people and Mesolithic people? They did hunting and gathering, they are going to do the communal dances, they are going to do the rituals. So yes, it is going to be there. So the UPSC is basically telling that, my dear friends, I am expecting from you guys that you should be focusing on the other dilemmas as well. That means that not only the you should not only be having the knowledge and information of one particular thing, but you should also have the knowledge and information of how to interrelate between the things. So here, what this question, it could have been solved with interrelation itself, right? That how from the other areas, how from the other art and culture and things you could have correlated. So the answer here, it is going to be A. The next question, it is with reference to the prehistoric painting materials. I'm sorry. With reference to the prehistoric painting materials, okay, consider the following statements. Red pigment was derived from hematite, okay. Green pigment was obtained from chalcodony, okay. Then there is going to be the brushes were made from animal bones and metal wires, okay. So you also have this particular paper. Now just think what was expected from you. Just think of this, that what was expected from you guys here. Okay, so here, see, if we try to eliminate this question with reference to prehistoric painting materials. Now, what do we know? The prehistoric people, they were Stone Age. Okay, when they were Stone Age, they were not that advanced. All right, so how can we eliminate things up? Just look at this. Red pigment was derived from the hematite. Now, we know that these people, they utilize the red and green color a lot. The prehistoric paintings, they utilize the red and green color a lot. Okay, so red and green was there. It is just the scientific element that you can understand that yes, red, the iron ore is red, hematite is the iron ore. All right, so because it is the iron ore, so here what we can see is that yes, it could have been extracted from there. Now many of the people would have thought that how could the Stone Age people extract from hematite? Okay, so hematite is a natural pigment, not a synthetic color. So it was a natural pigment which they utilized, okay, in the conversion process to extract the red color. Similarly, if they can extract hematite, they could also have extracted green pigment from chalcodony. All right, it is a quartzite type of. Now, the third one is that brushes were made from animal bones and metal wires. Now, just look at this. That brushes were made from animal bones. Okay, this could means we do not know that much, so we could just think of that. Okay, maybe. But here, this metal. So the first metal which was discovered, it is going to be bronze. Okay, sorry, it was copper. Okay, and copper was introduced during the Copper Age. All right, at that point of time, the livelihood of man, it was very much different. The livelihood of man, it was very much different, and the people resided in the plains. So metal, no, these people, how would they have metal wires that they use for painting? So obviously not, they are not going to have that. So you need to find the correct one. So here if you just eliminate 3, you get the answer. Even if you were not aware of the second question, hematite, magnetite, hematite and chalcodeny. So automatically you could have solved it with the elimination aspect wherein metal could have been eliminated. Okay, so that is there. Now let's move to the third one, that match the Harappan sites with their key features. Now, when we are talking about matching the Harappan sites with their key features, what do we understand here? Okay, what do we understand here? So, the Harappan sites with the key features. The first one is Dholavira, the bronze chariot and animal figures, means what was excavated from that particular site. Then there is going to be Chanhu Daro, from where unique water harvesting and stone construction was excavated. Daimabad, radial street planning, and Banavali in the bead making and craft specialization. So what do you think? What was found at that point of time? Okay, what is going to be there? What is going to be there? So here when you just have a look at it, okay, here in the excavations you might have, you do not know the whole thing, I accept, but you might know some things in the excavation, right? So just utilize your brains. What can we utilize? That when we talk on the Dholavira, so Dholavira, it was there in the Gujarat area, and it was a water scarce area. So Dholavira, it was very much well known for what? For their water harvesting practices, okay, for their water harvesting practices. So what do we understand? That the Dholavira, it is known for its water harvesting practices. The second is that when we talk about Lothal and when we talk about Chanhu Daro, so here when you talk about two, the first, that two is there. So here A, so these two you can eliminate. Okay. Then why? Because this is correct, this is correct. Then second B, in B you get one, that is bronze chariot and animal figures, and B you get bead making and craft specialization. All right. Then you go to C, that is 1, Daimabad is for bronze chariot and animal figures, and here C is for 4, bead making and craft specialization. All right, and the last one is Banavli. Now here what do you see? Here you are also going to use the particular aspect of, what do you call? Here you will also use the particular aspect of geography. All right, geography. So here what do you see? That Chanhu Daro, it is going to be there in the Sindh area of Pakistan, where a lot of, stones and everything was found. Whereas Daimabad, it is going to be in the Bihar area. All right, Bihar and UP area. Okay, so that area, it was a resourceful area. So there also you could have seen that you could have used geography, that in the Chanhudaro, where there were various stones that were there, Lothal and Chanhudaro, they were very much well known for their bead making factories. And this was a very easy thing, bead making factories, like that. Or even if you did not know this, you could have thought that major resourceful area is which one? Because even in today's time, Sindh is there in Pakistan. Now, because it is there in Pakistan, if it would have been that resourceful, so automatically the Pakistan, it would have been rich, right? The Pakistan would have been rich, but Pakistan is not rich. But here in UP and Bihar, there is a very big resource hub. So from there you could have taken, and Banavali, it is in Haryana. So here the B is going to be with 4. Okay, B is going to be with 4. So that is why when two things here is, it is wrong. So here the answer is going to be A. C is going to be bronze chariot and animal figures, and D is going to be radial street planning. So that is what we understand here. Okay, so like that we can eliminate things. Next, which of the following were true about the Harappans? Which of the following were true about the Harappan terracotta figures? Now, when you have read the culture, you are very much well aware about what is terracotta. So, made use of fire baked clay, okay, featured realistic anatomical detailing, used for ritual and decorative purposes, and depicted mother goddess and other animals. Okay, so here you need to select the correct answer. So you have the question paper, so just have a look at it. Okay, you have the question paper already, so just have a look at it, that what can be the answer for this. So here, just look at it. Terracotta. What do we know about terracotta? Yes, that terracotta, it was made up of fire baked clay. This is quite factual. It featured realistic anatomical images, realistic anatomical detailing. So terracotta, realistic anatomical detailing. Okay, so what do we know about terracotta? Did the terracotta have finesse? Finesse, that means perfection. And the famous terracotta is what? Of Mother Goddess. And Mother Goddess, when you look at the image of the Mother Goddess, so do you find finesse? Do you find perfection in the Mother Goddess image? Obviously not. So here what they are telling, here they are telling that detailed anatomical detailing means realistic anatomical detailing. So it is very much detailed aspect. So did they have details or what? No, they did not. So that is why you can eliminate this. Okay, all right. So used for ritual and decorative purpose. The most famous terracotta was Mother Goddess. So Mother Goddess, she was used for what? Mother Goddess, she was used for the decorative purposes. All right. Sorry, the ritualistic purposes. And terracotta, also toys and bullock carts and all the other things were also made. So those particular things were also utilized where for decorative aspect. That was another aspect. So third one is correct. We know that second one is incorrect, so you just eliminate second. You eliminate second and you get the answer as 1, 3 and 4. This is how you can get the answers. The next one is that consider the following statements. That is, painted grey ware pottery is associated with the Mauryan period. Alright. Painted grey ware sites include Hastinapur, Achichitra and Vaishali. Okay. Painted grey ware pottery features geometric designs like swastika and circles. Which of the following statements are not correct? You need to find which one is not correct. Okay, so you need to find this. Which one is not correct here? It is once again a very easy question. Okay, you can very well easily solve it up. So here what you can see is that what are they telling? Painted grey ware pottery. Now if you have read in detail, so what can you see? The pottery also evolved, red and black ware pottery. Then there was during the Harappan time period. Then there was painted grey ware pottery during the Vedic time period. Then there is going to be the northern black polished ware pottery during the Mahajanpadas and the Mauryan time period. So this was how it went. Here what they are telling, painted grey ware pottery is associated with the Mauryan period. The Mauryan period, it was associated with which pottery? That is northern black polished ware. Okay, so the first statement, it becomes incorrect. Painted grey ware sites include Hastinapur, Achichitra and Vaishali. Now what are these? Mahajanpadas. Okay, but it is not like, and the Mahajanpadas, they emerged during 600 BC. But it is not like the Mahajanpadas, they are going to directly emerge by 6000 BC. Okay, nothing, no sort of traces was there of urbanized cities prior to 600 BC. No, we cannot make a statement like that. Until 600 BC, there was the Vedic age. So from 1500 till 600 there was the Vedic age, and majority of the pottery, it was done during the later Vedic age, that means 1000 to 600. So in 600 we say that there was the emergence of the Mahajanpadas. However, it doesn't mean that on 600 BC itself Mahajanpadas emerged. Prior to that there was no Mahajanpadas. There were cities that then later on became the Mahajanpadas. Okay, so here what we can say is that yes, they were a part of the Mahajanpadas, so they were a part of the Vedic age also. Okay, so that is there. Then painted grey ware pottery, it features geometric designs like swastikas and circles. Okay, it features geometric designs like swastikas and circles. Alright, so that is also going to be there. Okay, so here what is going to be the first statement? It is incorrect. The second was correct. Okay, second was correct. We know. So like that we can eliminate and we can get the first statement to be incorrect. Alright, we can get the first statement to be incorrect. Now, read this particular question and think. Read this particular question and think what can be the answer here. What can be the answer here?